your Uncle Kyle, and of course, there is no substitute for quality. This is the Research and Innovation Podcast, and once again, I want to send my shout outs to the guys behind the scenes. Big shout out to Mr. Mshangwe, big shout out to Villa, big shout out to the PR and marketing crew, big shout out to Ralph. In this episode of the Research and Innovation Podcast, I have Mr. Chagonda, who is well known for the work that he has done in agriculture, farming. So if you are a farmer or you are into agriculture, he has a lot to take us through, not only in agriculture but also in research. Since this program is more about research and innovation, these things, they work hand in hand. Allow me to also say big shout out to Dr. Nyasha for also making this podcast possible here in Gweru, where we are shooting the podcast. Without wasting much of the time, Mr. Chagonda, we welcome you to the Research and Innovation Podcast.
Thank you, Uncle Villa.
It's actually Uncle Kyle.
Uncle Kyle,
yes, but Villa is making sure that things are in order down there.
So it's Uncle Kyle.
Exactly, yeah. Shout out to Villa there. So I understand that a lot of people know you with the work that you have done in agriculture, and your name is well respected in the agriculture space. So I believe you would want to take us through your full journey and how you started, as well as where you have trained. Take us through that, Mr. Chagonda.
Okay. Thank you so much. So my journey in agriculture is a bit long, since I've never done anything in my life which is outside agriculture.
Okay.
Yes, I started off well in the raw area where I grew up. My father was a subsistence farmer, and I didn't know that would end up being my final career.
Interesting.
Then after my O-level, I joined Chirezi Research Station, where I worked there for 19 years.
Wow.
Then after that, I enrolled with ESCOD in Agricultural College, where I obtained my diploma in agriculture. Then from there, I went back to Chirezi. Before I joined the Midland State University in 2004 for my BSc agronomy degree. Then after completing my degree, first degree, I joined Midland State University in 2009 as a teaching assistant, still in agriculture. Then I also enrolled for a Master of Philosophy in Natural Resources Management and Agriculture. Yes, then I joined, after my master's, I joined as a full-time lecturer until today.
All right.
Yes.
Interesting. What a journey you have. And I believe that you mentioned more about Chirezi. Is it your hometown?
No.
Okay. All right.
Actually, I come from Masvingo.
Oh, okay.
Yes, but that was my first workplace.
All right.
I first worked at Chirezi Research Station.
Okay.
Yeah, for quite a long time. That's where the basis of my knowledge of research was built.
All right.
Yes.
Mr. Chagonda, what drives your passion for agriculture? Because at one point when I was young, my grandfather was a farmer.
Yes.
And at some point he actually was a farmer at Chirezi there where you mentioned he was a sugarcane farmer actually.
Okay.
But at some point we felt like he was forcing us to be into agriculture, because he was always telling us that this is where all the money is, this is where, but as young people we wouldn't have known that, because we would be thinking getting dirty, getting in the mud, being in the field and all that. We just thought that it wasn't what we wanted. The office work was more appealing in that time than being a farmer, but now it's something that has gained momentum. What drove the passion that you had for horticulture and agronomy at this scale?
Yeah, so when you are into agriculture, sometimes you fall in love by continuously doing things and seeing the fruits of some who are into agriculture. For instance, when you look at Chirezi, as you have rightly mentioned, those farmers who are in the sugarcane production earn a good living, It's not the office work that pays, but it is actually what you harvest from the ground that pays. Because when you are into serious farming, you then realize that even getting employed, yes, because you do things at your own pace. You can actually manage your own things. You don't have to wait for, say, end of the month for you to get paid, but you can actually get revolving fund at your own pace, depending on the number of crops or the crop type that you will have in the field. You can have vegetables if you want to get quick money, low-hanging fruits in agriculture. Grow vegetables. You can also grow sugarcane. That's long lasting. You can spend a year to get income. But if you want to have low-hanging fruits or quick monies in agriculture, you can play around with the various crops that are available at your disposal. Yes.
Wow. Quite insightful, Mr. Chagonda. We also want to zone into things like budding, as well as grafting and nursery management. Which are some of the skills that many Zimbabweans still consider rare. What makes these techniques so critical, especially in this climate?
Yeah, generally propagation of trees and other plants is a rare skill that most people do not practice. I don't know for what reason, but it's something that one can do very easily, because there are quite a number of benefits that you can get from grafted or budded fruit trees. For instance, if you want to get a true to type mango or orange variety, you just need to go and take from a tree of your own choice. Then you join with what we call a rootstock. For example, in grafting and budding, you need to join two different trees, but of the same family. So if you are dealing with the citrus family, you can take a lemon rootstock, then join with an orange scion. A scion is that part that we put on top that will eventually bear fruits. So this practice is very essential. You can play around with the different trees to suit the environment that you are in.
All right.
Yes.
And how do you deliver these skills in your training programs, Mr. Chagonda?
Yes. Normally we do workshops with farmers. For instance, last year alone, I trained about 330 farmers in 4 different districts. I trained farmers in Binga, farmers in Chipinge, farmers in Siza, and in Mashingo Chivi area. So a total of 330 farmers were trained, as well as 11 agriculture extension workers. For this year we are rolling out a program whereby we are training farmers who are in the Midlands province, and we are also intending to diversify as well to other farmers. But for this year we have actually started to engage farmers who are in the Midland province, and the program is going to start very, very soon. Yes.
I want to drift away a little bit, Mr. Chagonda. Nowadays, everybody talks about climate changes, and I believe that to some extent, climate changes have affected farmers to a greater extent.
Yeah.
Well, maybe there are those who do not even understand how climate changes can affect a farmer or what it is.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe as someone who's in that field, can you just take us through how you have managed to, or how people are supposed to be managing climate changes, especially in agriculture and things to do with farming, and why it is important for them to understand climatic changes in agriculture.
Yes, climate change really is wreaking havoc in agriculture, because things are not as normal as we used to see, because we are experiencing extremes. It could be extreme high temperature. For example, look at the heat waves that is hitting Europe at the moment. It could be very cold temperatures. So, in agriculture, crops do grow well under optimum conditions. So if we divert from the optimum conditions, then we are bound to have problems. Climate change is also coming in with a lot of new diseases that are coming, and these diseases are also affecting the farmers. So we are also experiencing drought conditions, which are coming more frequent, because the earth is heating, water vapor is high, and the climate change is actually affecting crop production, is affecting animal production. So it's hitting all angles in terms of agriculture. So farmers need to be really sensitized about the climate change issues, so that they'll be able to adapt. Adaptation strategies are really needed by farmers, so that if they know that there is climate change, they should actually maneuver in such a way that they can actually adapt to climate change. So there is need really for farmers to be educated about adaptation strategies that they can actually implement for them to survive climate change.
From your own perspective, Mr. Chagonda, how prepared do you think we are as a country towards issues to do with climate changes in agriculture and farming? Do you think that we have what it takes to be prepared enough to stand despite all the climatic changes that are happening, and to still make sure that our agriculture thrives, our farming thrives? Do you think that we have what it takes?
Yes, in the sense that we have the whole Ministry of Agriculture, Environment, and that is responsible for that, and it is responsible for taking care or notifying farmers about these climate change issues. Yes, but on the other side, I would say we are not prepared enough, because if I look at the level of input that is supposed to be put to or towards climate change, I don't see a lot of contribution in terms of budgetary issues. If you look at the agriculture budget and that which is set aside for, say, climate change mitigation issues, you really see that we are not really at it. We are not really very prepared, or we are not preparing ourselves towards the climate change issues. So I think the government should really be serious about it, and it should be seen to be putting more funds towards resilience issues in climate change, adaptation issues in climate change, especially in agriculture.
Thank you, Mr. Chagonda. Now, I know that you have worked with in multiple communities as well, and maybe you can paint us a picture as to which regions have embraced your training the most. Probably what kind of transformation have you witnessed on the ground, especially economically and environmentally?
Yeah, in terms of the communities that I've worked with, like I mentioned, Binga, Chipinge, in Caesar, a lot of farmers were actually interested in the practice of grafting and budding issues, and they have actually volunteered to do the practice themselves. And each farmer had actually, I'm yet to go and evaluate, but because remember we did some of these trainings only last year, and I'm still going to evaluate what they promised that they were going to do. But there was an overwhelming response, and I am pretty sure that each farmer, because the objective was to make sure that every farmer, even at household level, plant a tree, try to plant at least 5 trees, so that because trees are very important for environmental sustainability, carbon sequestration, when we talk of climate change issues. So I was trying to highlight them so that I could motivate them to plant to plant as many trees, especially fruit trees, as possible, so that they can also get income as well as food for the communities.
Okay.
Yes.
So Zimbabwe is also part of the Nagoya Protocol. I believe that you are well versed with that, and we are pushing toward Vision 2030. How does your work directly feed into environmental sustainability? Also, probably, and you can also maybe tell us how your work also feed into things like food security, things to do like with youth empowerment under these national and international goals. Okay.
Yes. In the first place, the mere fact that you impart the skill it's human capital development.
All right.
So by imparting that grafting and budding skill, you have empowered the people. That's human capital development. Then if the farmers go on to plant the trees out there, it's a sure source of food security. Remember, they are fruit trees, and in case of drought, people can actually survive by eating the fruits. If you are a Zimbabwean, I think you agree with me that a lot of people survived from Chakata during the drought season, and this is just one example of those fruits that people can survive outside in drought. In drought period, so the food and also nutrition issues are also addressed. Once you have got fruits, food security issues are addressed. Also nutrition. Remember, fruits are nutritious, and they provide vitamin C, they provide fiber, they provide carbohydrates, which are very essential for in our bodies. So all those things are very important. Also, there's also increased biodiversity. When environment, when you plant a tree, you enrich the environment. So biodiversity issues are then addressed. Then also by making use, dealing with communities, there is what is called social protection. When you are dealing with the vulnerable communities. So I will try by trying to involve as much vulnerable communities in rural areas, trying to reach them. We are trying to address national and international principles or goals towards our 2030 vision in the country. So basically, this is what is involved: environmental protection. Once you have got a tree, you don't have soil erosion issues solved. So in terms of environment, you will have do justice
exactly
to environment.
Now, with years of field work behind you, I know that you have been in the field for quite some time, because it's been your passion, right? What's been your greatest challenge? Probably what's kept you, and what also kept you going? Because, like I told you, my grandparent wanted me to be a farmer, but to some extent I had other goals as well, but I would love to hear what kept you going, and most importantly, how do you see your role evolving over the next 5 to 10 years?
Like I said, I've never had any work that is outside agriculture myself. I am so passionate about agriculture, left, right, and center. Regardless of whether I'm dealing with trees or crops or animals, I'm comfortable with all these things. It's the passion that is now driving me. I feel like whenever I visit a farm or wherever I visit someone who is doing agriculture, the moment I set my foot on that piece of land or a farm, I will have a lot of advice that I will give to, because it's now in me. It's something that is actually embedded in me. So I don't think I will have anything that I will do which is outside agriculture. It's now my passion, and I really love it. I really like it.
Sure.
Yes.
So there are a lot of farmers out there, and I've interviewed some. Most of them, when you talk about challenges, most of them, they always talk about funding. Funding. But from your own perspective, to those who want to venture into farming, what sort of funding plan do they need to have? Or maybe they do not need to think about funding it, or maybe they just need to think about having a space first. I don't know, but what do they need to do? Because I believe that there are a lot of young farmers out there or young aspiring farmers who want to venture into farming, but they are just hiding behind the fact that we do not have funding, or we do not have finances, but we have what it takes to be a farmer. What do you have to comment on that? What do you have to say to some of those people?
Okay, thank you. In farming, what is needed is not funding alone. You need funding. Yes, it's one of the components. You also need land, and you also need knowledge. So having these three, you are good to go. You can be a farmer with vast piece of land, but if you don't have knowledge and funding, you cannot start a farming business. So it's actually you can also have money and land, but if you don't have the knowledge, it becomes also a challenge. So I think it's a combination of the three that is required. But in terms of funding, land, some people have gone out to you can actually have people who list out their pieces of land. Suppose you want to go into farming, but for funding now it is a bit of a challenge, unless if you get a loan from a bank, because in most cases people can get loans from banks. They are agro banks which are aligned to agriculture, for example your agribank, and so you can actually acquire a loan. Then if they see that you've got good pieces of land and everything, so other resources, they can fund you. So that's the one avenue that one can take. Then there can also be a possibility of partnership.
Yes.
People can actually partner. I've got knowledge, you have got land, he has got capital. Yes. So we being three, we can partner with different resources. I use my knowledge, you use your land, then in that partnership people can actually get started in agriculture. So we don't have to look at one aspect But we should look it holistically like that, so that people can really go into farming.
Sure. Hey, quite insightful, Mr. Chagonda there. But as we sum it all, as an agronomist and horticulturalist, how do you intend to keep your work going? I mean, what is your sustainability strategy?
Yeah, this work of agriculture really need passion and commitment. In order for my work to be sustainable, I actually have to be on it. I have to love it, and like I said, I love my agriculture. I love my job. I really am into it. This is what I eat and drink every day. So whenever I'm where I am, even if you visit me at my home, I have something to do with agriculture. I have my poultry, small poultry, small everything. So it actually takes someone to really take it as a routine. You can have other things to do, like sometimes I come here for my work and but to do whatever I do here, I also complement with my research work and what I do in everyday life. So I don't think I have a challenge in terms of carrying out my work, because what I do every day entails agriculture. So yeah.
Wow. Well, it's been quite a very insightful conversation, Mr. Chagonda. And now there are those who would want to get in touch with you or get in touch with your work, also get some consultancy in farming and agriculture. How do they get in touch with you?
Okay. Firstly, I'm available physically, yes, here in Gweru, because I stay in Gweru. And those who want to get me physically, they can get hold of me, of course, on my cell phone. My cell phone number is 0773 570 914. 0773 570 914. I can also be available if people get hold of me on my email address, chagondai@staff.msu.ac.zw, or my Gmail chagondai70@gmail.com, chagondai70@gmail.com.
Wow, thank you very much, Mr. Chagonda, for coming through for the Research and Innovation podcast. I hope that next time we're going to be doing this podcast in one of the fields that you are part of or you are directly involved in, so that we can have these conversations on the ground. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And, thank you very much. Now, to our valued listeners and those who are watching us on our social media platforms, this is the Research and Innovation platform, and I was just having a conversation with Mr. Chagonda, who is also a lecturer and an expert in agriculture and farming as well here at Midland State University. Until we meet again next time, my name is your Uncle Kyle, and stay tuned for more.